Hey guys, this is Sean Sanders. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hit that like button, subscribe, and tell a friend about me. So I have 15 minutes to get this Scandal video out. It is late, but since Scandal is tomorrow, it'll be like a refresher. So I'm going to dance around a little bit, but we'll tie it up at the end. So the scene opens up with Cyrus having this flashback, and I'm thinking, what? But he's having a political flashback of his life with Fitz. Hold that thought because we're going to get to it. And then we go to Olivia. Olivia is still in red, and she is talking to Mellie about this book. She says she's read half of it, and the truth is that you need to answer the elephant in the room, which is, why did you stay? Why did you stay? Everybody wants to know. So Mellie gets beside herself. She's all caught up in her feelings, like you don't get to know why I stayed. And she says, you wanted Olivia Pope, you're getting Olivia Pope. Olivia Pope is saying, why did you stay? You answer that in your book, you're gonna secure the presidency. People are gonna fall in love with you. Hold that thought. Well, no, let's not hold that thought. Let's talk about this. So here's the thing. Find out that they're more alike than not, because Mellie was toying around. She was trying to figure out what would be a good scapegoat answer as to why she stayed. And Olivia's like, it's you're going to have to be transparent. So she essentially gives her the real reason why she stayed, because it was working for her. And that, let's face it, Fitz is high maintenance. He's a very needy man. And it's very clear that he is used to, in his whole life, having people take care of his needs so that he doesn't really have to do much. And Mellie was a much more stronger component, very Clinton-like, why did you stay? Very Hillary Clinton. And Fitz is this charismatic president, very Bill Clinton. And she says that it was working, that Olivia being there gave her some freedom, that she was dying inside of being the governor's wife, being a mom, being everybody except her, and she lost her identity. And when Olivia came into the fray, being the mistress, it was time for her to catch her breath and be able to breathe, and she had freedom. And that's why she stayed, and she was afraid of leaving. So essentially, Olivia spills her guts out and says that, pretty much that she was afraid of staying because she didn't want to lose herself. So they come to the epiphany that you need to write, that you were afraid to stand alone, but you found your voice and you realize, all of a sudden, Olivia Pope is like Glinda the Good Witch. You had the power all along, and that you didn't need Fitz and you didn't need this man, and that right there is going to be the war cry of all women, that any woman who has been with a partner knows how they can lose themselves, and now she has a voice. So they decide to write this, and it got leaked out to the press. Okay, so let's talk about Huck. Huck is giving Marcus the business. Marcus, who is Harrison 2.0, giving him the business about, blowing him off. But they bond later on. They bond because Huck has been watching his son through the cameras playing soccer, and somehow or another Marcus seems to bond with him. So I think they've moved on, and I think they're going to gel better. Okay, so the next big thing was Miss VP Susan. Now, in the comments, I cannot think of Portia de Rossi's character name, but she wants Miss VP Susan to run for office for the presidency, and Susan doesn't want to do it. Portia de Rossi's telling her, you are a favorite. The polls gave you a 93 rating. You need to throw your hat in the ring. And Susan doesn't want to have anything to do with it. So she decides, Portia's character decides to go to David, who's the Attorney General, who she knows VP is sweet on, and says, listen, you need to work your magic and convince her to run, because Portia has, high political hopes, and she's gotten a taste of the White House, and she doesn't want to leave. She doesn't want to, be chief of staff. And so she's asking David to help her get them to the office. So fast forward, David asks her on a date, and David tells her, you need to run for office. And then Susan's just, she just broke it down. She says, listen, I know why I'm the VP. I'm the VP because Mellie did not want anyone that was a formidable person to run against her, and that Fitz gave me essentially as a gift to Mellie. So when she decides to run for office, she's essentially throwing the race. And so David has this like epiphany moment, like there's a tide turn, like he really likes her. I don't know if he likes her the way that Susan likes her, but he was like, don't ever put yourself down. And he kisses her and he's like, you need to run for office. Well, fast forward, Portia de Rossi's like, whatever you did, it worked, and she filed her paperwork. David was trying to say that, if she doesn't want to run for office, she doesn't have to, but evidently that kiss was it. And Ms. VP Susan is running for office. Can we just stop for a moment? Because, yeah, Jake was in town and there were no words. I know I was watching reviews and some people were making a big deal about why we had to see all that. Yeah, well, Jake walked in. Olivia answered the door. She started walking in the hallway. She took off her robe. She walked in naked and in scene. And then she was talking like, I hate you. We're never going to do this again. And Jake's like, oh yeah, we're going to do it again. So yeah, that was the end of that. But I do like seeing Jake because I'm Team Jake. So, okay, so now fast forward. There's this journalist that is supposed to be writing an article on the president. Cyrus, of course, is having these emotional attacks about the legacy. Your legacy, your legacy. You still have time in the office to do something, to walk out of here with a bang. Fitz is unaffected about the whole situation, but Cyrus and Red was trying to control the journalists about, what you can say and how this article is going to be written. And Cyrus is very apprehensive, and Fitz is like, we're a go. Ooh, it's going to be scandalous. Anyway, we talked about that. We talked about Jake. We talked about Mellie. Oh, here's the thing. This thing about the mistress, and it has nothing to do with scandal, but Olivia said something that I've always said before, and people were like, you always ask, about the mistress and, a mistress and a wife and all that. And I've always said, it's easy to be a mistress because you get to do the fun stuff. You get to get dressed, look your best, and walk out the door, and it's all going to be fun. You're not doing the down and dirty business of a relationship. And Olivia said that, the thing about Mellie is that Mellie kept Fitz unavailable, and Mellie was her out. That, if things really started to get too real, she could walk away because she could always say, you got a wife. I could be an awesome mistress if all I had to do in my life was to show up, smell good, look pretty, and just, do all the fun stuff. That'd be great. But the fact of the matter is that when you're in a relationship, you're paying bills, you're raising children, you're dealing with life, you're dealing with parents, you're dealing with work, you're dealing with the nitty gritty. And I would love to always show up and look cute and be ready to just do whatever. But the fact of the matter is that that's not reality. And when you're a mistress, you're living in a fantasy world. Then the wife has to live in reality. So I thought that was very insightful what Olivia said. Moving on. So Olivia, Mellie finally confessed why she stayed. They agreed on what was going to be put in the book. And then this was the funny thing. So Cyrus, it goes back to the beginning when he was looking creepy. So Cyrus is standing over Fitz while he's sleeping. And in my notes I said, not like a child, not like a parent looking at their child all lovingly. It was like creepy stalker like. So he gives some excuse that his cousin died and he has to leave. What's really going on is that Cyrus is on the prowl. He is headhunting for a new candidate. So he goes to Pennsylvania. He finds this young, good looking governor from Pennsylvania. And I believe he's Mexican American. But the thing about the whole situation is that Cyrus has a gleam in his eye that is very reminiscent of when he was in the beginning stages with Fitz, trying to get him into the office. And so now Cyrus is fueled, and he has found someone who he is going to more than likely convince to run for office. And then Cyrus now can get back into being in the rightful position, because he doesn't have that position with Fitz anymore, and he needs to get that back to feel alive again. So that's how it ended. So Sally was reading the leak pages of Melly, because they need to get ahead and of the whole thing and stir a buzz. And so it ended with Sally, but ooh, it's going to be good because tomorrow it's going to be all about sex. So the journalist is crushing on the president. David's got a little love triangle with the two women, with the VP and Portia's Secretary of State. Cyrus is just in love with power. And I'm like, Ashley, are we ever going to see baby Keisha? I don't think. I think she got written out like that girl from Family Matters. Just one day she was there and one day she wasn't. I don't think we're ever going to see baby Keisha again. Baby Keisha is somewhere else with another family. She got written out and no one knew about it. Poor Keisha. Anyway, that is all I have. I have 3 minutes to spare. It has been a crazy day. School is canceled tomorrow. High winds. It is nasty out. So my people that live in this area of Northwest Indiana, Chicago, stay home if you have to. Don't go out. It's nasty. It's dangerous. I hope everyone is safe. If you got some food, you got some power, you got some lights, and just take care of yourself and each other. Talk to you tomorrow or Friday. Bye.